Hey Kevin, Sergio here. Thank you for inviting me to do this tour of my shop. As you know, most people know, I'm a knife maker who uses reclaimed steel. I'm also a knife maker who works out of their garage, and people drive by and interrupt videos. Hey, knife making got into me probably 7 years ago, and I was buying knives a lot. Every month I'd buy knives, and my wife finally said, "You need to do something about this." And I said, I think I could make a knife. And she goes, "I bet you could." And that's where it started. With a lot of help from the barbecue community, especially Robert Sierra, Mark Scott, many others. But Robert was the one who first tried my steel and was like, "Dude, gotta have another knife." And he has been so supportive throughout everything. But I started making knives, and I wanted to make knives with stuff. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on material because you can absolutely do that with Damascus. It's just not the type of person I am. I've always been a kind of a poor-minded person. But when I say that, I didn't have fancy things growing up. But we didn't suffer either. I don't want that to be thought of. I just thought, what would be cool to do? I thought of reclaimed steel, and I thought, what if the steel came from the state of Texas? And then I thought, what if the steel came from farms and ranches, the hardworking people in the state of Texas? And that's what got me going. Took that idea even further with the handle material. So most of my handle material, if natural, comes from the state of Texas. The woods, the cactus fiber, everything that you stabilize woods, most of that comes from the state of Texas. The steel, the wood, definitely the hard labor comes from the state of Texas. Hard labor comes from me. I enjoy making knives. I try and make knives 4 to 5 days out of the week, and I just get a kick out of it. It keeps me enthused. I enjoy the idea of having a concept in my head and then going out to my shop, and I can produce it. And it goes from the thought to the tangible working tool in only a matter of hours. It's beautiful. Heck, the state of Texas doesn't have a lot of, we have a lot of knife makers. We have very few Hispanic knife makers. And I think that's one thing to be said. More education. I don't care what color or creed you are. People need to know how to make knives. I mean, this is an art and it's a skill, and I enjoy it. And learning how to move the steel with the hammer, that takes time, and you got to think about it. So I'm a huge proponent of sharing knowledge. I'm not the biggest proponent on associations, like the ones who you join just to get a title about how good your knives are. If I'm making knives and people are enjoying it, I'm considering that successful. Yeah, I don't need a title. In the state of Texas, I really have been invited in by the barbecue community and people who want to use my knives, and just the overwhelming response to my willingness to go and meet and talk to and try and get people to use my knives. I will tell you that when you walk up in a barbecue spot, I think this is the reason barbecue has gone so big in Texas, everybody is welcome. No one is made to feel like they're not welcome. That's a huge thing for me. Everything I do with everything about me is inclusion. And I'm going to pull people in, and I'm going to say, come on in. That's what barbecue does. That's what barbecue is. I think that transfers into my knives. I think people who talk to me, and if you're going to order a knife from me, you're going to talk to me. So when that happens, I think they're a little taken aback by how upfront I am and how openly kind I am, because I truly believe that kindness has its place in this world. So I'm kind to everybody. And I love talking about knives. So when you order a knife from me, we're gonna have a great conversation. It's gonna be fun. How do my knives differ from other people? One, the steel I use is reclaimed steel. Two, I forge all my knives. So that means there is a hammering heat driven, the hammer is driven by my arm that makes those knives. I need a power hammer, I just can't afford it. But every knife has been made from my sweat. Every knife is hammered out by me. And that's something special. It's a little bit different. Not to say that other methods aren't bad. I just enjoy what I do. I think chefs enjoy feeling something that feels like it has a soul. They can tell this is something different when they hold it. That's what I'm looking for. Listen to the sounds in my shop. I'm gonna shut up. I don't know if you can hear that. That's the wind blowing through the West Texas Canyon. It's peace. That's what that is. When I come out here, I enjoy every second. It's just gorgeous how little sound there is. Some of the future plans, I thought of this. I am trying to get my blades thinner, yet stronger, and I'm trying to really push some of my ideas of blades and where they are going with design. So designing blades has become something that I wake up at night about. I'm like asleep, about to jump on the unicorn and catch it, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I just had the design of a knife in my head. So I am trying to figure out what that looks like and how I separate that from what I do. But I think I've been saying I'm going to come out with the signature series. I really think that's close. That's coming. And when I do, I think people will really dig what comes out. Pushing myself to the next level, really trying to get that uber high knife collection look where people are like, damn, that is nice. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm also trying to get into, I have a personal goal. I want my knives in most barbecue joints in the state of Texas. I've got a lot, but not most. So that takes me going out, making calls, and making knives. So gotta take time doing that. Kevin, I thank you so much for letting me do this. I suggest let's do a 6-month update, and I'll tell you how things are going. Hopefully the shop is as clean as it is today, and I think my skill will have improved just that much. I mean, time and work are what improves a knife maker. So, 6 months, see all that? Hope so. So, Kevin, let me show you something. This is my Ameribraid grinder. It's been with me quite some time. Her name is Joan Crawford because she's mean. But on top, got my duck. It was originally from the movie Convoy, but it ended up in the movie something Death Wish or something like that. I don't know. But Convoy duck. This is my new shop. I did get the lights, but you'll see my steel all through here. So this is my steel. I have a pan there in case I need an extra quench pan. But all this steel is reclaimed. Except that piece with blue on it. That's W2. If you look at my grinder, just to the right of it, you'll see my forging table. My forging table's got my water It's got a torch to light the forge, all my tongs, some soap, some markers, a hammerhead that we need to put a handle on, and then my hammers. I have a cheap hammer, but then I have the hammers that I cannot do without, and they are these. Hilltop Forge, Dog's Head Hammer. This one has been rehandled once or twice. 424 is how many he's done, so this thing's seen some wear. That hammer and this hammer are the two that I use the most. This is a straight peen, so one side's used as a radial, move steel radially, in a radius, and then this moves steel linearly. So I'm able to move steel real well with this. This one starts the forging process, and the Dog's Head finishes it. And then forging table. Here is my prep table, and where I put knives that are forged, where I put knives that are waiting for handles, waiting for pins to dry. And these are all my knives right now that are waiting. You can see the one with the handle is I just had to sand it out tomorrow. But here's what they weighed in. And then you can see some G-Carta there, some belts. I have a lot of belts that I use. And then abrasive material. I have my ferric chloride here. I have my Danish oil. And I have soap and water that I use. Pliers. Samples of wood. And my handy dandy drill press that has seen better days. But still works, and I love it. So that's that portion of the shop right here by Jim Crawford, splitting the little wall in the garage. Now, let me get on to this side and show you my secondary grinder. This is a 1 horsepower Ameribraid with a fast back frame. Ameribraid just makes some great, really great grinders, and I like their customer service. You can call him, and the head guy, Kevin, he'll talk to you himself. I plan to get this one. I need this one to be a little more powerful, so I'm looking at a 2 horsepower, 3 horsepower motor to get. As you can see, it's a double car garage, so it opens up to, you can see the forging area, my grill, and yeah. Well, I have storage underneath the setup table, the handling table. In there, in that bag, I have some clay from my hometown, Junction, Texas. I'm going to start playing with the idea of using clay to coat my blades before I heat treat. We'll see how that turns out. Stools are important to me. We lost one today, so I got to get rid of him. Okay, so trash box. That box underneath is full of wood. That's a second forge in there that I need to still set up from the move. But at this station, this is where I finish. I'll hand sand. I will use the scroll saw to cut handle material. And you can tell in the Lum's barbecue cup, all my pin material. And I've got some brass and copper in the curve, in the purple thing. I recycle everything, guys. I use it again. I have some knives from Chef Leo in Fredericksburg that I need to shape up and send back to him. And that sandpaper on top of dress shoes. Yeah, because everybody keeps their dress shoes. You know, every knife maker has dress shoes where they handle up their knives. So I do have some storage on the wall, but not really. Some cutoff wheels, some safety glasses, epoxy, extension cord, and gloves. Oh, I have a buffer over here that I use, a little bitty buffer. This is real important. have many people look at what I do and they're like, how do you do that? That machine right there makes those knives look pretty. And then to the left of it, my Ryobi table saw. That table saw has been with me through a lot, and it will cut through anything. I recently cut through some iron desert wood. Iron desert wood. So yeah, pretty cool. As you can see, the dust buckets, they're old cat litter boxes that were emptied. On this side, what do I have? You can see how many I got with my steel, but then on this side, this catches all the sparks from Joan. So really interesting setup there. People always laugh at me, but it was. Hey Kevin, so these are my two anvils. This is my forging area. Here's my forge, bottle of propane. I'm doing this at night so I can show you something. And here's a table that I had made out of an end cap. That thing weighs about 400 pounds. But if you see my view while forging, it's almost about to be 10. And I live in a valley, canyon I guess. The camera's not picking it up. But you can see the outline of the hills the whole way around. Oh, there's my barbecue pit. So I'll barbecue out here. This is a street, so people know what I'm barbecuing, but I shouldn't say barbecuing, grilling. But this is where I make the knives. This is my 250 pound and this is my 100 pound. The forge, as you can tell, I use a lot of recycled stuff. So this is a old grill that I have put some grid, I don't know what you call that, some type of metal that holds my forge. I'm going to transfer the forge to a wheeled cart and it will go in and out when I forge. The anvil, I'll tell you this, the anvil that I use most is this big one. I like it because it's dense, doesn't ping a lot when you hit it, and it's got this cliff right here that helps me form the handles. Wanted to show you just some of the handle material. This looks like some natural, I forget what that is, something in resin with a box elder or maple front end or back end. This is box elder. Look at the way that looks. That is just freaking amazing. Stabilized, so it's gonna be solid. And then I have this, have a nice green, blues. Look at this blue. So with this, I'm thinking of doing a long knife saya. What is this? 8 inches? 7 inches? I'm making a saya out of that. I think that'd be cool. Anyway, wanted to show that to you. And more green over here. I don't know. Lots of handle material, but these boxes are filled with it. Oh, and I have some G-Carta over here. Let me show y'all the G-Carta. This is G-Carta made by, I don't know, G.I. Hansen's, but really good stuff, really tough stuff to use. I had to learn how to make a handle look okay with this, but when you get it, it's pretty nice. You'll see some of that in my Instagram feed if you follow me. But it's my wood. I mentioned earlier, but this is a Damascus blade. It needs to be hidden tang, but I've got a stem problem here, right there. I gotta weld up and figure out how to do that without ruining the heat treat in the blade. I don't know. It'll come along. Anyway, that's it. That's the shop. Grinder, forging area outside. Setup table, second grinder in back, table saw. Oh, my fans are important. And then my finishing table. So, yeah. Hope y'all liked it. Till next time. See you in about 6 months. Okay, Kevin. I wanted to show you this. This is my view from where I forge. As you can see, the canyon exists on all sides. And here I am, blessed to be forging right here.
Howdy y'all, how y'all doing out there? I just want to spend a little time out here and say if y'all looking for a custom hand forged knife for in the kitchen, for your barbecue pit outside or your restaurant or somewhere, take a look at my friend Sergio at Menchaca Sensei on TikTok and Instagram. He does craft some beautiful knives. I've been lucky to have one from the beginning, and I got about 8 of them now. And I sure love them. I got from small knives to big slicers, different handles, and he's come a long way since the beginning. Their knives were great in the beginning, but they're even that much better now. So hey, I just want to say continued success to my friend Sergio. If you're looking for a craft forged knife, give him a shout out. It's Robert's here. Take care.
From slicing to chopping, these things are beasts. They're beautiful. They work really well. I love the fact that Sergio's taken old metal and given it new life. Very pleased with these knives. Thank you so much. Keep doing that good work.
What's up, guys? Just giving a quick little shout out, some kitchen cred to my buddy Sergio out at Texas Sage Forge for putting out some of the best quality handmade knives I've ever encountered in all the years I've been in this industry. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. Texas Sage Forge. You won't be disappointed, I guarantee that.
A true passion that burns within your soul is one you can never put out. You can do anything as long as you have passion, drive, and support. Sergio's passion drives my passion, and so I support his. Forever a Texas girl, forever a Texas Sage Forge chef.
Hey, this is Chris Rinker from Maryland. Just out here enjoying my outdoor kitchen on a beautiful summer night. Just wanted to give a shout out to my man Sergio down at Texas Sage Forge. Makes some beautiful blades. You can see this one that he made for me. Got a great Osage orange tree handle. Beautiful piece of steel plow that they forged into a knife. And I couldn't be happier. Does everything I need for all the meats that I do for barbecue. Make sure to look them up and go get yourself one.
Life. Yeah.